So I was swiping on my For You page on TikTok, and there's this video of this girl, and she basically was saying that when she meets a pretty girl, she doesn't expect them to be nice. And they don't have to be nice because pretty privilege, of course, and you know how the society's kind of built on stereotypes. But one of the comments stated, actually, let me read you the comment because I don't want to misscrew what the person said. Every time I see a pretty girl who's really nice, I wonder what trauma they've been through to make them that way. And then the comment said underneath, people don't understand how much violence it took to become this gentle. In my life, I've been called soft, but I've rephrased it in my own way to think of myself as gentle. And I really thought about it. Are the gentlest people the ones who experience the most violence? Or is that just a made up stigma or just written poetry? In my life, I experienced so much abuse. I can give you a list, but I'd rather not. I'd rather focus on my growth. But I've learned through that. Yeah, the quotes like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and all things work together for the good of those who trust in the Lord, if you're a biblical scholar. But one thing I realize is that the people who don't become, what's the word that I'm looking for? The people who don't become like the people who formed them, it takes some sort of strength. If you were raised by someone who was abusive, 9 times out of 10, it's more likely for you to become abusive yourself. It's just how generational trauma works, I guess. But when you step out of that role, one, you have to change your brain and change the way that you naturally think, as well as actively say, hey, I'm not going to act this way. I'm going to do something different. Do you realize how strong that makes a person? So to actively be gentle in a world that's filled with violence, I feel like that's one of the strongest things a person can do. So when people called me soft, I wish I knew how strong I was. And I also wish I knew that who I am wasn't validated by that or by anyone out there but God. How can someone who hasn't created you tell you who you are? That's like if, let me think of an example. Imagine there's a cake right in front of you. You could taste the cake and say, hey, this cake sucks, or hey, this cake tastes great, but you don't know what it took the baker to make that cake. You don't know what it cost the baker to make that cake. That cake could have been $1 billion cake, but just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not $1 billion cake. And the same thing with you. You're worth more than gold to the Lord. You're worth more than gold to the right people. And just because someone can't see your worth doesn't mean you're not worth anything. As long as you can see your worth, as long as God can see your worth, and God will always see your worth. I think sometimes we go back and forth and wonder, hey, does God care about me? Does God love me? No, that's not what it is. It's if you can see your worth, because God always is gonna see you. He's always gonna see you as who He created you to be, because He created you. He's gonna know. Not everyone else is gonna know, but God's gonna know. So it's getting to the point where you believe what God says over what everyone else says. I know there's only, hold on, I was gonna word this wrong. I know there's more than 8 billion people. I think it's 15 billion people in the world now, but there's only one God. And I rather believe the one God over the, I definitely cut out there, but what I was saying is it's easier to believe one person than a bunch of people. And even though it's hard sometimes, even though there might be a lot of blah 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 in your face, I'm gonna try to trust my creator and not the ones who choose to judge me, because the world's already hard on me. I shouldn't be hard on myself. And I hope you can do the same today. Yeah, that was all I wanted to say. So, yeah, it does take a lot of things to become this gentle. And I hope that you don't lose your gentleness, you don't lose your joy, you don't lose your peace in a world that tries to constantly make us forget. I'm gonna blow you a kiss. I'm gonna give you a hug. And I'ma see you later.